You're watching Seattle Seahawks today. I am Tom Downey, and we are this close to 25,000 subscribers on our Seahawks channel. It's simple. You subscribe, and you get free videos every single day on everything going on around the Seahawks in NFL free agency and the NFL draft. So if you haven't already, subscribe right now. Let's run through the latest going on around the Seattle Seahawks. A very busy day one of NFL free agency. Not quite as busy on day two, and the Seahawks have lost a key part of their organization. DJ Reed has secured the bag from the New York Jets, a significant addition by this organization or the Jets, I should say, to poach DJ Reed away from the Seattle Seahawks. A huge pickup by New York and a big-time loss for Seattle. Here are the numbers out of DJ Reed this past year in coverage. Really good stuff. Under 48% completion percentage. Yes, he allowed 500 yards, only 3 touchdowns, 2 INTs, 10 pass breakups. The job that DJ Reed did, I was very, very impressed by. The Seahawks' plan, as had been reported by plenty of others, was to keep DJ Reed and Sidney Jones. Well, they kept Sidney Jones on a cheap one-year deal. Trey Brown remains eminently affordable on a rookie contract. Ugo Amadi, Marquise Blair can be your nickel. You just lost your best corner for back-to-back years. Shaq Griffin last year, $11 million's not that much for DJ Reed. And you're paying Will Dissly, what, $8 million to be a backup tight end? Like, I don't get this move by Seattle. I think of all the moves they've made so far, this was the first really big, or maybe second big with Dissly, mistake. This hurts Seattle significantly. I do not like the loss of DJ Reed. Maybe he flames out in New York, but he was really good for you. I think it's a massive loss. So I want you to be honest with me with this question. How big of a loss is DJ Reed? Scale it for me, 1 to 10. 1 being, oh, it's fine. Seattle will draft somebody great at number 9 overall. It's possible. 10 being you are just an absolute shambles. You're a broken human being. I'm going to make this the pinned comment on today's video. So if the ad break comes on YouTube, take advantage of it. While the ad plays, head down there and get your votes on a scale of 1 to 10. How big of a loss of DJ Reed? Let's talk QBs now. Are the Seahawks out of the running for Deshaun Watson? We spent plenty of time on this in recent days. Now it kind of sounds like that's not a likely outcome, which doesn't really surprise me that much. Aaron Wilson yesterday afternoon said this: Watson is meeting Monday in Houston with the Saints and the Panthers, the 2 front runners to land him in a potential trade. Then Adam Schefter earlier this morning says the Falcons have emerged as a sleeper team to acquire Deshaun Watson. Per him and Chris Morton said the Falcons join the Panthers, Saints, and also mentioned Browns as teams that have met with and/or are interested in trading for Watson. And Diana Rossini says that Watson has interest in Atlanta and has reached out to the team personally, tampering, etc., and whatnot there. I will make note that John McClain, no, not that one, the Houston Texans beat writer for the Houston Chronicle, says that Watson rejected the Seattle Seahawks. He did not want to go to Seattle for whatever reason. So among the reported teams, there are 4 in the mix for the soon-to-be former Texans franchise QB. The newly mentioned Atlanta Falcons, the frontrunners, Carolina Panthers, and the New Orleans Saints, and also the Cleveland Browns, who we'll see if they are a real threat or not to acquire Deshaun Watson. Make note, 3 NFC South teams, plus the Browns, in that conversation. Now, if you want non-stop, Seahawks coverage for free, you've come to the right spot. If you haven't already, hit that big red button and subscribe for free Seahawks videos every single day, with all the news and rumors and updates around the Seahawks by subscribing. As I've said before, it doesn't break my heart too much that the Seahawks apparently aren't going to land Deshaun Watson. I don't want to rush this, what I am calling a rebuild. Whether you call it a reset, rebuild, retooling, whatever, it's not going to be an overnight thing. You're probably not going to fix your organization without Bobby Wagner, without Russell Wilson in a heartbeat. You will need to take some time for that to actually work out. So I am fine with taking a year or 2 years or whatever to take your time and slowly rebuild that organization. Maybe not slowly, but not like rush through it there in the end. So what do you guys think? Where will Deshaun Watson play in 2022? Doesn't sound like Seattle, but hey, it's a big NFL story, so let me know in the comments. Let's talk now with some more quarterback rumors for the Seattle Seahawks. We're going to begin with Gardner Minshew. Field Goal says, go trade for Gardner Minshew, everyone's favorite cheap, affordable trade target. Field Goal's main argument, SB Nation side, of course, was expectations, leadership, skill, and a chance to start. Why it makes sense for all the parties involved. That last chance to start makes sense there. A couple of these things I don't agree with all that much there. Expectations would be low if Gardner Minshew were to be this team's new franchise, or maybe not franchise, but starting QB. The production in 2021 was good. Gardner Minshew is the greatest first start of the season QB in NFL history. Every time he gets to start week 1 or for the first time of the year, he's like 3-1 with like 10 touchdowns and 1 interception. It's obscene. And his numbers actually kind of look okay. Like, oh, this guy's got 20 or 41 touchdowns. He's got 12 INTs over his career. That's actually kind of intriguing. But then you dig into more and more of the nitty-gritty side and you go, oh, he's not that good. He just doesn't turn the ball over. He doesn't make mistakes. All of those things, by the way, make you into a really, really good backup QB. That is what Gardner Minshew is. I think his value is exactly what the Eagles gave up to get him, a 6th-round pick. He is a day 3 pick at best. If you want to bring in Minshew for the memes and the jokes and to be a maybe better version of Drew Lock, cool. But even once you acquire him, you are still searching for a franchise QB, which if you're trading for a QB and you still have to go get one, what's the point in the end? Talk more QB stuff here in a second, but today's show is powered by our sportsbook partner, BetUS. Head over to chatsports.com/bet and use the promo code you guys see right there on screen. That is Seahawks 125. $100 down. That's going to get you an extra $125 for free. The odds have changed, by the way, in the last 24 hours or so. Kansas now plus 1,000. How about Gonzaga? They've jumped up in the odds, even though we knew they were going to be the number 1 overseed. A lot of action on the Bulldogs. That's what that tells me. Plus 325. Maybe you want to think Baylor will repeat. Okay, plus 1,200. It's chatsports.com/bet. Promo code Seahawks125. More QB talk here. Is Marcus Mariota an option for the Seattle Seahawks? It's not the worst idea out there as far as I'm concerned. Here's what Christopher Knox wrote for BR. The Seahawks could be an option for trading Wilson to the Denver Broncos. Mariota clearly isn't as accomplished as Wilson, but he's a mobile dual threat who could do some of the same things that Wilson did in offensive coordinator Shane Waldron's system. Okay, maybe. That feels like a bit of a stretch. Like, oh, he can do the same things. Can he, though? Like, he's fine. He's better than Geno Smith. Maybe better than Drew Lock. But again, this for me falls into the exact same category as Gardner Minshew. Like, we saw Mariota be the guy in Tennessee and get benched. And immediately, overnight, Ryan Tannehill came with the exact same roster and made them into a legitimate playoff threat. Like, that is what happened in Tennessee. So I don't think that you suddenly add Marcus Mariota and boom, everything's fixed. Like, he's a bridge. Both these guys, Gardner Minshew and Marcus Mariota, are bridges to whoever your franchise QB ends up being. So I'm curious, who would you rather have on your roster? Maybe you go GM, if only for the mullet, which, not the case anymore. Or MM for Marcus Mariota. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Some more minor roster moves by Seattle. They tendered several of their ERFAs, RFAs, etc. Penny Hart, and by the way, all these guys, super affordable. Penny Hart, back to fight for a receiver roster spot. Dakota Shepley, offensive line. Brian Monet, some more depth on the defensive line. Tanner Muse, and linebacker John Radigan. Well, linebacker's a big need now for this organization. Ryan Neal back at safety, so the big three. Well, big three of Jamal Adams, Quandre Diggs, and Neal, all under contract. And Nigel Warrior, also back as Seattle rounds out the back end of that roster. Folks, if you have any questions or thoughts on Seattle, feel free to hit me up on Twitter. I'm available at WhatGoingDowney.